What's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. What of ending for England versus France? This was just wow. This was a spectacular game. Honestly, I didn't know which way this game was gonna go. France, they dominated so much of the first half before we saw England come back with the resurgence. They came through strong. Jamie George was putting in amazing performance. A lot of the players were actually really playing well. Seb Atkinson was playing absolutely brilliantly, and they were controlling the game. They were really putting it to France, but wow. Um, let's break the game down. Please like and subscribe as always. It really does help the channel grow. And let's get into it because honestly, game starts. I'm thinking, you know what? France they have this. They are playing so well. The ball's moving so quickly. England are crumbling. They are their defensive line was just so open at times, and I thought, this is not going to go well. This really, really is not going to go well, and things just went from bad to worse because why is it? France, they got two tries pretty early gates. Nolan Lagarec was phenomenal, absolutely brilliant. His kicking game was on point. And then Willis comes in with a try in the 23rd minute. I'm like, yes, things are going good. They're picking up. Alex Coles then comes back in 27th minute. He gets himself a brilliant try. And then favour. How stupid was that tackle? I want to hear what you guys thought, but to me, clear, high, clear red. At the moment I saw that, I was like, oh, red. There's no two ways about it. It's a red. What what's England gonna do now? Right? What is England gonna do now? And I was expecting a France resurgence, France just to come back and just start killing it. Joe Carpenter had something else on his mind. Managed to just skim one in, just boom. Broken play, everything was everywhere. The ball was just going, and he had his eye to the ball. He knew, and he was the first one to that ball. And then I'm like, 17-12. Forward goes and puts it through the sticks. The game ends 19-12 with England with the red. Now, albeit it was a 20-minute red card, it wasn't a straight red. Just wow. I was like, this England side is doing bits. They are doing bits. What's going to happen now? Right? And second half, they start again. England's lineouts, their rucks, they were strong. They moved the ball well. France are really, really struggling to keep up. And then Wokey goes and gets a red card. Was it on around 50, 60th minute? Now, this is where things start to get a bit tricky because it was originally a try. I forget who scored it. I think it might have been Nolan Lagarec. I think he scored the try, but in the build-up, there was a bit of an incident with Jamie George. Now, this is where it comes to the experience of the English forwards. They put doubt in the ref's mind, which made the ref then go and second-guess herself. Right? Oh, is it? Maybe. Let's check it. Because she was originally just going to give that try. Right? She didn't pick up on anything before. England brought it to her, and then it was found to be a yellow. And then later on the line, it ended up getting called up as a red, rightfully so. But honestly, that was just brilliant. Yes, okay. England are getting things going. They have that time. Wokey, he's out for the rest of the game, right? I think the decision was made around the 60th minute. So we know those last 20. That was game. France were playing with 14 men for the rest of the game. Dombrandt, 59th minute, bangs himself in a try. Hallelujah. England are there. 24-12. They're getting things done. And then France kick on their afterburners. Because you then got Malay. 74th minute. Oh, no. Hastoy then goes, puts it through. Brilliant. France are back in the game. France are back in the game. Last 10 minutes, I was hoping that they would survive. My heart was set on England to win. I had them to win prior, and the way things were going, I was like, you know what? England are going to recoup. They're going to get themselves back in order. But I was wrong. France kept on with that pressure. They kept on with that pressure. And then we started to see mistakes happen. Advantages were given to France, and they were getting closer and closer to that try line. And then we thought, no. Things just kept going worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And it's just like, oh no, this is actually going to happen. They at the gate. They are at the gate knocking on that door. And that knocking just went from knocking to kicking to bloody Taufa Funua. That's what it turned into. They just sent a bloody war hammer horse, bloody bull just come charging on through. And game. A little part of me was saying, please check it. Maybe there wasn't a good enough grounding. Maybe he knocked it on. Maybe something. But no. 26-24. England crumbled. I'm not even upset with the game. I'm not even upset with the performance because they actually put in both really, really good performances. George Ford put in a brilliant performance. So many of the English players put in actually legitimate performances. They just had a big resurgence from the France side. Late on, everybody was tired. Everybody was dying in the heat. Everybody was pulling up, with hamstring issues. It happens. But again, this is not competitive. This is putting people in the window. This is people getting themselves noticed, right? And a lot of the players on show, put their name good. One of them was Ati Sogbe. He doesn't really play much as a 15, but he played well. The guy was scary. He was really, really scary. And I mean, I think it was Uradu. Yes, Uradu's try. He just broke through the English defense like it was butter. I had to second guess myself. I was like, what? Did this just happen? Boof. Off to Uradu. Try. Easy. We saw him play a lot in the Six Nations. As a 14, I'm telling you, this French youth is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Talk about players for the future. Nolan Nagarek, 9. BLBA, 11. Damien Penaud, he's a 26. He's 26. So he's still got a lot of years on him. But then on top of everything, you then have Ati Sogbe that can play 11, 14, and 15 if needed. But then you also have Tomo Ramos, who's only like 28 years old. What is with this? They have ridiculous talent. But then again, so do England. Carpenter put in such a performance at 15. I was like, dude, if you keep putting in performances like this, England straight. All of this is for later on this year. A lot of players put themselves in the spotlight. Favour Boso deserves a slap across the head and say, get lower. It's not even like there was it was a moment where one player dropped at the last second or, there's no excuse for that. They were wide open, but he led high. Stupidity. No question. And you can argue with me on that one. That was stupid. It was avoidable. And England would not have had to play with 20 men, with 14 men for 20 minutes. Albeit England actually played pretty damn well with 14 men and actually took the game to France. But that still should not have happened, especially with a player like Favour Boso, who is crucial. He is such an important impact player. They were without him for 20 minutes. And they still couldn't bring him back on, they had to bring someone else on. A player like Waboso is a player that can change a game in an instant. And I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. Who's your player of the match? What did you think of the game? Honestly, the last 10 minutes of the game, I had my hands in my hair, wondering, oh no, this is actually going to happen. France is going to win. But deservedly so. England crumbled in the last 10 minutes. France put on the pressure. I'm telling you guys, this was brilliant. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts in the comment section below. If you guys do happen to get to this part of the video, that would be lovely. I really do thank you. And if you guys want to grab yourself a free 30-day trial of Prime Video, check the description below. Yes, you do need to put in your bank details. I am not trying to scam you. It is legitimate. You can check it up. If you want to see Amazon Bounty, I am now affiliated with them. So if you guys want to grab yourself a free 30-day trial, get that in, and then just make sure to cancel before the trial ends, so that way you don't lose any money. You get yourself free 30-day trial of Prime Video, and you're helping out the channel as well. So have a lovely day, lovely weekend, and you will be seeing me after the Bordeaux game. Ciao.